Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. All my life, I've been a perfectionist, and it's only held me back. You would think that it would accelerate you forward, but that's not the case. Today, I'm going to be talking about embracing mediocrity and how much better you will feel after you realize that it's okay to be mediocre. And while we do that, in today's video, we're just going to continue flattening this absolutely ginormous piece of land that I have. The word perfect sounds like it's a great thing, but it's actually pretty slippery with its meaning too. It can invite the feeling of elitism if it's executed well, but more often than not, it just kind of leads to sadness and disappointment. Oh, it started raining, that's great. The harsh truth is that nothing in this universe is perfect, and when people try and use that word to describe something, it just invites scrutiny. There's a TED Talk on embracing mediocrity, and I referenced it for this video. And the man on stage talked about a man named Alain de Botton, who coined the sense status anxiety. By the way, watch that TED Talk, it's so good. So status anxiety is the anxious feeling you get when you think you're not good enough at something, or just worrying about not being good enough in general. Now, I've never heard this sense before, but after hearing it, it really does apply to a large part of my childhood and my early adulthood, like where I am right now. That anxious feeling you get when you feel like you're not good enough at something can just make you drop things entirely, which is what happened with me because of that. So throughout my entire life, I've had this feeling of just not feeling like I'm good enough at something, but I never knew what it was called, and I guess that's what it's called, status anxiety. This pressure to be good enough just leads to stress and anxiety, and it's just not pleasant at all. And ultimately, it will lead to dissatisfaction because you're living up to imaginary standards set by yourself. A good example of this is my Twitch channel that I've kind of abandoned for now because I couldn't live up to the standards that I set for myself, and I just had to disconnect from it entirely. Damn, it's dark. I'm gonna go sleep. Jesus. Every time I hit that go live button, I just had to put on this act that I'm this perfect person that can just one up anything I do all the time, and that pressure just got so immense that I couldn't take it anymore. I got burned out because I always tried to be perfect, and the days I wasn't perfect, I just felt so terrible. I'm like, oh my god, nobody's gonna like this, no one's gonna watch me. And it ultimately just led me to quit entirely just because I didn't feel like I could live up to any standards I set. The harsh truth is that not everyone can be number one. Statistically, most people will live an average life, and that's okay. At least I've come to realize now that that's okay. The word mediocre comes from the this was on the TED Talk. The word mediocre comes from the Indo-European word medial, which means middle. And being in the middle is statistically the most likely outcome for almost anybody watching this video. You're probably just going to be average, and you know what? That's okay. Average people can do exceptional things still. That's not out of the question at all. Why am I digging this side? I was in the middle of digging this. Whoops. It's kind of a privilege to be in the middle, because if you really think about it, bad is bad, right? Middle is okay, and good is good. If I presented you the choice of being bad or being average, I'm sure everybody would pick average. Because it's not bad, you know what I mean? You have to shift your perspective a little bit. It's perfectly fine to be average because it's not bad, you know? Not bad is not bad. If I go to McDonald's and I get a double cheeseburger and I eat it, I'm like, that's not bad. But you know what I did? I went, as in, that's good, or like, that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? Am I just fat talking about food? Who knows? Nowadays, it seems like our language and the way we talk to each other just breeds doubt in our ordinarity. Like how you can only truly be somebody if you're exceptional in some way or something. And I'm just thinking, like, really? That has to be exhausting to be that perfect all the time. Goodness gracious me. Another example, if you see a 3-star restaurant, nowadays for some reason, people think 3 stars is below average, when if you visualize those 5 stars, the 3rd star is right in the goddamn middle. Like, it's fine, it's average, it's not bad. Every day now, we see examples of elite and perfect, And that subconsciously makes us think that it's easily obtainable when that's just not true at all. The words are slippery and they're like double meanings in a way. While the media exposed to us can lead us to aspire and do better, where's the stopping point? I'll give you a hint. There isn't one. There will always be more to scrutinize, and there will always be more imperfections you can point out. When you realize there isn't one, you get to set your own ends. You get to set your own finish line. You can set your own quote unquote perfect, which is fine if it's not perfect in the literal sense, you know? By allowing yourself to finally finish something, you'll feel more satisfaction because you're done. You know, if you're constantly being a perfectionist, you're never done. That finish line always moves forward as you find more things to scrutinize and more things to just bitch about. So by allowing yourself to set those goals and reach them, you'll feel more satisfaction than if you just kept scrutinizing and searching for imperfections to fix. You'll feel less stressed. You'll feel more satisfaction. You'll ultimately feel like a better person in general, even if you're not perfect. So yeah, that's kind of the end of today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. See ya.